Hello everybody. I thought I would take a few minutes here and kind of focus on one of my other passions from back in the day. This is probably going back maybe 8 to 15 years. And actually spent some time just briefly going over my other passion, and this would be collecting war medals, primarily from the USSR era. But I also do have a collection of American medals. This would be current and some of the older World War II stuff. So, I kind of want to give you a kind of an overview, kind of how this even came about, and why does a Lincoln Town Car guy have a giant medal collection? And this is not even everything. This is most of it, but it is also not everything, because I do have some stuff in the storage, basically some of the stuff that didn't make it into the framing part. But I want to apologize in advance. So this is actually, so where this is actually in my kids' room. So this is my kid's bed. This is our family cat, Edward the cat. Say hello. But this also used to be my office, quote unquote. So we live in a pretty small 2-bedroom condo. And before we had our son, this was my office. My computer desk was here. Had a couch here. Had a bookshelf here. We didn't even have a cat at the time. But in any case, oh my God, just look at his face. I mean, how can I get anything done here when there's a giant cat just like chilling? All right, I'm gonna. All right. Well, if you're not interested in the metal stuff, at least check out this cat, because this cat is absolutely adorable. He is awesome looking cat. So anyway. So our son came. The office had to be moved to the living room. I still have the same computer desk, but I had these things hanging here from about the time I moved in here. So from, 2014. So, for quite a bit of time. And I started actually in this corner, and I started building. And then it ended up there. And then my goal was to get some of the smaller frames, kind of to fill in the gaps and maybe put some other stuff there. But bottom line, it didn't pan out, and now we have these medals lined up with this kid's bed with some sticker of trains, and once again this cat and a empty clothes hamper. But bottom line is, I started collecting medals when I got a hold of my grandfather's war medals, and this would be a grandfather on the father's side. He participated in World War II. He was fighting the Japanese on the Western Front, and he got wounded. Yeah, there you go. The Japanese. Okay, it's coming back to me. And he ended up, I ended up getting my hands on some of his medals. None of them are actually here because I had to give them back, believe it or not, to another relative. It's a long story, but that was the grandfather on my dad's side, and that kind of sparked my interest. Then later, I got war medals from my stepdad's father, and he was actually an officer in the Red Army. He got captured. He had tattoos on like over here from the concentration camp, believe it or not. I met him, talked about it, and his medals were shown to me because my, it wasn't my grandfather, it was my stepdad's father. That sparked my interest even more. So I started collecting medals. I don't remember what was my first medal that I bought. Obviously, how I started collecting them. I started buying them, started using eBay's, swap meets, blah, 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 and I started accumulating collections. I mean, some of the stuff that I have here, sorry about that, the battery died, of course, GoPro. So some of the stuff that I have here is a whole set that came from one particular person. I do have some of the stuff, like some of the documents, like here you can kind of see it on the display, where it would list a lot of the medals, and so a lot of these things are numbered on the back. There's I can show you a picture where the book will have a list of all of the medals from whoever, and sometimes even pictures, and it like a face shot basically, like on a driver's license, and then it would have all the numbers of the medals. So as I kind of proceeded, I started gathering more and more and more. And I can tell you this, I don't really have a whole lot of stuff that's like super rare, but I do have some stuff that hopefully some of you will find interesting. And I can also tell this to you is that, you know, I'm not a communist. I know a lot of these things have, and I'm sorry for the glare, you know, this is, keep in mind, this is my trial video. I want to see how many of you are interested in this stuff, and then I can maybe start taking them off the wall. I mean, they're not too, I mean, they're just shadow boxes. They're on a couple nails, basically. And then if you guys are interested, I can start telling you way more about it. And I started basically just collecting them. Some American stuff, which you can kind of see here. Here's some of the older stuff that's American, but a lot of it is, you know, Russian. Oh, by the way, I do have like a more modern Russian shadow box, or like a frame here. This is obviously post 1991. And then a lot of it is primarily World War II. Once again, I'm sorry for the glare. How do I do this? Yep. There you go, and this is me. And yes, if you guys are interested, I will definitely take them off the wall. Here, let me climb off my kid's bed before I break through it. And then we can talk about it. And I can show you more in details. I can take them out, obviously less glare and all that. And I can tell you some of the stories and some of the sets that I have. And I can tell you this about me. I was born in the USSR, but I'm not from Russia. I'm from a country called Belarus, which is close to Russia, but it's not Russia. Now, because I was born in 1985, it was still USSR. And I never learned a native language, which Belarus does have its native language. And kind of over the centuries, Belarus was part of so many different countries. I'm not a historian. I am not know-it-all, do-it-all type of person. I did buy some books to make sure that I kind of understood the hierarchy of the medals. I would understand how they were worn on the uniform. Sorry, I'm just sliding in between my kid's bed and the wall. And yeah, some of the stuff. Oh, by the way, also some of the stuff right here. So, for example, like this one. I don't know how many of you know this, but this is a replica. The real deal. I think there's only like 11 of these things in existence. This is This is the Order of Victory. This is a pretty high quality replica. I think it cost a couple $100 actually. But yeah, this is not real. So, and also this right here, just to kind of give you an idea, this is what's called a Marshal's Star. And basically this was given to a marshal of the USSR, of the Soviet Union, kind of like in Germany, you know, kind of like a 5-star general, I guess, the equivalent. Or it would be a field marshal in the in the German army of the era. So these things, and this, if this was real, this would have been gold, and this would have been diamond. This would have been rubies, gold, and diamond, and silver, and yeah, stuff like this. I do not have a real deal here. This is a replica as well. These two are replicas. The rest are real. For example, in this frame, this box right here, this is a replica. This is a pretty rare Ukrainian order, which if this was real, it would have been solid silver, which once again would have drove the price up to probably a couple $1,000s. This is a pretty cheap replica that I got. The rest of them are real. And, you know, I can once again talk about a lot of this stuff. But the bottom line is, I stopped buying, and I guess I didn't stop collecting them because I still have them. I don't want to sell them or anything, but yeah, I do not really support communism. I don't wear these things on a fake uniform. I never served in the American or Russian or Soviet or Belarusian militaries. All I do is I like how they look. I'm kind of like a crow that, I'm attracted to the shiny objects. Some of these things are silver. Some of these things are gold plated. And that's a big difference between like the Russian/Soviet military stuff and the American ones, where, here, okay. Like for example, on the American side, you know, the bronze, and by the way, these are all real to the best of my knowledge. They are, you know, maybe not this one. I'm not 100% sure. But this, to the best of my knowledge, everything in this box, this is more historical kind of World War II things here. These are, most of them are real. Once again, I'm questioning this because just the quality is a little off. But the best of my knowledge, this is, you know, Navy Cross. There you go. And as far as I know, this is bronze. Bronze, it's not, you know, it's not too expensive of a metal. Where, for example, this one right here, this is silver. Now, it's a pretty high quality silver here. Some of the other things, like you can kind of see here, some of this is real gold. So the interesting thing is that, you know, in Soviet Russia, you didn't really make a whole lot of money. But if you earned yourself one of these metals that were especially the higher up, they would be silver, gold, sometimes platinum, and on a really higher level awards. But you know, you didn't really make any money. Where in the American side, there's no really precious metal in there. But you know, arguably, an American service members are a lot better taken care of. So, all right, guys. So there you have it. An overview of kind of what I'm about. Hopefully you guys will find at least the American side of it is interesting. I know at least a couple of you that watch my channel served in the military, so you'll probably know about this stuff way more than I do. And keep in mind, I'm not a scholar. I've looked stuff up. I bought some books. I still have the books. I have more stuff than just what you see on the wall. This is just my pet project that kind of stopped at a certain point, because buying and collecting these stuff, once you kind of get up there beyond a certain probably beyond like this order, and by the way, in Russian and Soviet stuff, there's a medal and there's an order, so it's a whole other thing that I can tell you about. Yeah, some of the stuff becomes ridiculously expensive, and no, I've probably spent, you know, a decent amount of money on this, but not like ridiculous thing where, you know, one of these, by the way, this is the hero of the USSR. This is a replica, so it's cheap. It was cheap. I just bought it for shits and giggles. And this is, so this is a hero of the USSR, and this is like the highest labor. So this is like for the military or for some sort of a state award, and this is for labor. This is for somebody who like who invented something versus somebody who, like, you know, destroyed, you know, 50 tanks or something like that, or won a battle as a general or something like that. Yeah, so this is for labor. Yeah, these things, if they were real, they would be solid gold. So yeah, I can't do that. So I bought a few replicas. So some of these are knowingly replicas. All right, guys. Anyway, I hope to kind of spark your interest. I will look for your comments to see if there's any real interest for me to start taking them off the wall, start taking them out of the box, kind of, you know, get rid of this shadow. And you can kind of see I'm filming this when it's still, you know, summer out there, but I figured I would post it in the winter time when filming outside could be an issue. So, all right, everybody, let me know if you guys want to see more. If you have some questions, leave it in the comment. If I see I'm getting a lot of views on this, I'll start taking frame by frame, you know, and then plus I'll probably get some of this other stuff that I have in storage, and we're still looking at some of the books that I have and all that. So, all right, everybody, hope to hear from you.